We're live.
Let's go! Welcome to the Thursday edition of Stay Cashin. No Tommy J. He's doing his rehab for his leg, his hip, his bionic hip rackets. So that's what he's doing today. He didn't even know that he had to go there.
What an idiot.
At like 12:45, he calls me. He's like, "Oh my God, I just remembered I had to go to the doctor. I got this, I got that."
What an idiot.
He's an idiot. He's an idiot. What's up with you?
Nothing. I just woke up like at fucking 1:30. Tennis is going all night. It's fucking killing me, dude. I don't get to sleep at all anymore.
I mean, so all the like tennis shits overseas.
Yeah, it's all in Australia. It starts at like 7 at night, and it's going until 8, 9 in the morning. So not fun for me this week, this month, but
Rough.
yeah. So I just got up not too long.
What's up with you, Av?
We're here.
I'm once. Oh, I fucked up the formatting. I'm once again stuck in the TikTok matrix. So
Oh yeah,
that's
doing
where I've
what?
been for the last 2 days. Just about the Rodgers shit.
Well, we could start with that. So me and Rackets and Tommy spoke about it yesterday on Rupp and Rackets. For anybody who didn't hear it, we'll go over a little bit of it again. Get Evan's take on it. Rackets, did you just see that Aaron Rodgers was just on McAfee?
I didn't. I saw that he was. I saw on Twitter that he was on, but I didn't actually see it. No.
So fake. The whole thing, it was so fake. So fake. I mean, he basically was just on there to prove that their relationship is still intact because there was no need for him to come on. There was no, like, Bill Belichick wasn't his coach.
Yeah.
Like, McAfee's just like, all right, and for the last person that Bill Belichick spoke to on an NFL field, Aaron Rodgers. And Rodgers is like, oh, and then Rodgers is like, well, they're like, yeah, he's going to coach maybe somewhere else, blah, blah, Falcons. He's like, Aaron's like, well, he said he wants to coach again. So Rodgers doesn't even know. Rodgers is out in the woods somewhere, he said. Somewhere, where in the woods he is, but he doesn't even know what's going on. That was so set up to avoid everything else that's been going on. And like what Pat said yesterday about, thank God, this whole thing is over.
Yep.
And everything with the Aaron Rodgers, he doesn't have to deal with the suits on Wednesday morning and everything else. And then everyone's like, oh my God, he got rid of Rodgers, but now that they brought Rodgers back. I mean, Aaron Rodgers Tuesday Rackets was going on when he didn't play football over the summer, correct?
Yep. Yeah.
So
He was. Yeah.
why would it stop now? So I mean, and it's not even, and at the end of the show Tuesday, McAfee didn't even say like, all right, bye, we'll be back September. So like
Right.
it was just so weird. He got a lot of pressure from up top to to say that because Aaron Rodgers just went on and on and on and on and on about stuff.
Even on Tuesday when he pisses some people off or like he rubs some people the wrong way, and it's like, no shit, dude. Like, what the fuck do you think?
Insane, right? Insane. What do you think about this thing, Av?
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole entire shit show. I went at it from the conspiracy angle because that's what people on TikTok love to see. And I was just saying, if you want to go watch the videos, I did like 4 videos on it. Just that like Disney and the executives want him off because of Pfizer, and now the Jets are going to be cursed for another 50 years because it's hard to explain. Just watch the video. I did like a 3-minute video of how Aaron Rodgers is the new name of curse.
Well, he got so after the national championship, and then when Kimmel came on and said all that stuff, and then McAfee basically didn't really know anything until that morning because he was at the national championship. He had to go home, everything else. And Kimmel killed him. And then Kimmel actually brought up McAfee's name. So once those late night guys, bro, and Kimmel, he's twisted in with all them people, bro. And that was it.
Kimmel's such a douchebag.
And then when Rodgers responded again on Tuesday with all that crap and everything, that was it. And then he went after the executive at ESPN, the guy who looks like Night Ghost.
AJ Hawk just sitting there fucking egging him on was the best part of the show, though. He's just
that one guy looks just like Night Ghost. It's crazy.
Boss.
So it was like, McAfee got called and like, all right, that's it. Get this guy is done. He's not a platform for his ranting and raving on the vaccine and Fauci and all this other stuff. So that was the end of it. And then what McAfee said was just like, thank God this is all over, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if he really meant to say that because it kind of jeopardized his relationship with Rodgers. And then to bring him on today just to prove that they're okay and McAfee could do whatever he wants, because that was just ridiculous. That
fishy
thing, it was very fishy. Very fishy. I had called Tommy right before the show. I was like, because I know he was at the doctor. I'm like, make sure you watch that because it's ridiculous. The whole thing was crazy. So yeah, get on over to TikTok, watch Evan's videos on that. Just totally, absolutely ridiculous, I think. Rackets. I was pissed today because all these things kept saying Saban and Belichick move on, right? No. Saban is retiring.
Yep.
Belichick got fired.
Yeah, which is crazy.
They're not parting ways. He's not moving on. He got fired.
Yeah.
And it says it nowhere. On ESPN, nowhere. Like, Belichick. No, he got fired. They didn't even want to go through the process of trading him because they still have his contract to get something. Kraft is just like, no, this is over, because Belichick had all the power in there, like the drafting and everything else. They're like, no, we want him out, gone. We're not. They fired his ass. And he's been god awful the last 4 years. His team has been crap. He's been awful. 4 wins. I'm sick of all these shows like kissing his ass. All right, he's good. He's great. Whatever. What has he done lately?
He hasn't done anything since Brady left.
They've been awful.
They've been terrible. So bad.
Yeah, they're not parting ways. They're not doing this. They're not doing that. I do think, as of right now, I don't know what the job openings will be after the playoffs. Like if anybody fires their head coaches because they lost in a playoff game.
Right.
But right now, I think the Falcons are probably the best place for him, maybe. What do you think?
Falcons or Chargers, yeah. Either of those teams. I mean, both teams already have like a complete team. They just need some fucking. The Falcons need a quarterback, but the rest of the team's okay. And the Chargers pretty much have everything. They just need to be able to put it together. Like, there's nothing wrong with that Chargers roster at all.
I mean, is it though? Like the Chargers, they've had such a good roster with a lot of talent with nothing. So can you go in there and change those guys? Like, can you change the culture in there that has been right? It's not like they're a young team anymore. Their guys are getting up there.
That's a fair question. I mean, you still have Herbert for the majority. Like, he's still a top 10 quarterback, right? So you're at least getting a good quarterback. The defense isn't great, but it's okay. It's got some players on it. And
because Eckler came into the season.
Yeah, I would say Eckler's probably going to be gone.
It was an injury, but he was supposed to be the best running back, and he did nothing. He came in and looked like a meatball.
Yeah.
He looked awful.
What the fuck?
And they used that first-round draft pick on Quentin Johnston or whatever the fuck his name was.
Yep, they have such a long road of being shitty and bad decisions and everything else. Like, can you turn that around?
Not right away, not in 1 year, I don't think. But I don't. It's tough too because
Atlanta has the defense, right?
Atlanta has the defense, and they have a running game.
They have the running game, and they have a good receivers, and supposedly the best tight end that we were ever going to see that they don't throw to.
Yeah.
In bits. So can he work with Ritter? Do they get somebody else? I don't know. So I don't know what Belichick's going to do. I would think, like you said, Chargers or Atlanta.
Chargers is a good spot for him. And like you said, I'm sure there's going to be some spots that open up. Like if the Cowboys get bounced out in the first round or two, and I don't want to say that they would fire McCarthy, but that's not a bad spot for Belichick either, right there.
Yeah, I mean they got a shitload of talent. Most Pro Bowlers almost every year without anything good happening in the playoffs.
What about Vrabel?
I think he just goes right to New England. I think they just fucking swap places out right there.
I think goes right to New England. Yeah.
Which is why did you see the article as to why they fired him? It came out that the Titans, I don't know if it was the Titans owner or if it's the owner's wife or whatever, whoever the woman is that's in the front office, didn't like how Vrabel didn't like Vrabel's acceptance speech when he got his number retired or whatever, the Patriots Ring of Honor Day. It was in the middle of the season or something, and he said something during the acceptance saying that not every franchise is like this, and he's like, I've been a lot of places, and this, the fans and everything here are one of a kind, and not every franchise is like that, whatever. And basically he was just saying thanks for inducting me. And the Titans, I think it's the Titans owner, she got all pissed off because of that speech, and that's why he ended up getting fired right from his coaching spot.
I mean,
it's fucking wild, dude. You got mad because he accepted a spot in the Ring of Honor. Come on, dude. Stop it.
Yeah, but is Vrabel the guy that you want to start basically all over from scratch with? Do you want him?
Bro, he did bring Brian Tannehill to an AFC Championship game. Think about that for a second. That team, for the longest time,
quarterback. They're a rebuilding team. Their defense is good.
Defense is okay, but the offense is kind of trash. Hopkins isn't going to be there very long, and Henry's about to leave too. So I don't know, man. I watch this team all the time against the Colts and everything, but Vrabel always, every time they played him, it was always okay, this is gonna be a tough game. It's gonna be one of the physical games, but you never really got worried about playing the Titans. You know what I mean? It was never fuck, here we go again, playing this team. They were always a good team, but
But now, so they got rid of Vrabel, but now Vrabel's gonna go to a team that's rebuilding, right? So do you, like you said, do you really want him coaching a rookie? Is he the guy to do it with a rookie quarterback and starting all over? And
I don't think Kraft really cares. I think it's just he wants him there, and I think that's the only thing that he cares about.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
same thing with Gerard Mayo. I heard Gerard Mayo is one of the candidates too. So both of those guys are old Patriot players. They're both kind of the same player, physicality first. I think Vrabel gets the job, but you can see what kind of what type of head coach they're going for. Is just that old player from the 2000s.
Well, that division is tough because you're gonna have Miami, who's gonna be the same again, right?
Yeah, and the Bills, and then
have the
Aaron
Bills
Rodgers and the Jets.
Again, and the Jets, we have no idea. Do they go out and get a receiver? Do they get Devontae? Does Adams come here?
Garrett Wilson changed his number back to 5,
and
so
Devontae
17
Adams,
is open.
He did like the tweet about that. So
yeah, he did.
I mean, I don't know. Tommy seems to think that Devontae's a lock to come here. All I know is that you guys have to win this year or next year because Aaron Rodgers is setting your team back a whole ton of years. After this is over, you're missing out on draft pick, you're missing out on quarterbacks, you're missing out on everything. And the Jets better go out and get a serviceable backup because Rodgers is 40 and he's playing on that shitty turf again, which the Meadowlands, I don't know what the hell they're doing. I'm still available. I live right down the road, Meadowlands. My grass is green in front of my house. It's fucking January. I got green grass. There's no reason you can't grow grass 5 miles away.
It's insane.
Talk to him.
It's stupid. Stupid why they don't have grass. It's an outdoor stadium in New Jersey. We grow grass here. It's fucking 50 out today. It's not negative 12 like Kansas City. We're not in Green Bay. We have to put heaters under the field. Come on, bro. It's crazy. Too many guys have gotten injured on that. And why Saquon would want to stay here the rest of his career? Go somewhere better before you get injured again. You know? Sucks. I wouldn't want to play on that shitty grass, on that turf. No way, man.
Nope.
What else we got, Ev?
You want to recap Monday? National Championship?
Yeah. I think the game was I think it was bullshit. There were so many bad calls. Rackets, I don't know. Did you watch it?
I watched a little bit of it. I watched a little bit of the first half. I didn't really dive into it.
There were so many bad calls in that game. I didn't bet on a side. I had a couple parlays, some props and shit. I didn't bet on a side. I didn't really know who was going to win. If I was leaning Washington with the points, but I wasn't really sure, so I just didn't bet on it. But there were so many bad calls, holding calls, missed all over the field. I don't know what happened there. I don't know. Somebody took a bag on that. It was absolutely ridiculous. But I mean, Michigan's the championship. They're the champs. And now Harbaugh 100% has to move on, right?
Yeah, where I don't know where he's going to end up, but there's no way he coaches in college again.
He can't, because he's not going to go through all this bullshit, right? With their investigations and all that other stuff. And, he turned that team around, beating Ohio State the last couple of years, the last 3 years, winning a national championship. Why would you want to go back to that when you're being investigated? Obviously, he cheated. He had people in his organization cheating, right? So, I mean, is Michigan the best team?
No, I said Georgia was the best.
Georgia is by far the best team in football.
That's why I was so irritated when they didn't even get put in the playoff. And it's like, you guys debated, like, back when they changed this format from all those bowl games, what was it, 10, 12 years ago, 15 years ago, whenever the fuck it was. You changed all these bowl games to get the playoff, so that you made sure that you got the best team in the country into the fucking playoff. And now, fast forward 15, 20 years, you're not even getting the best team in the playoff. So what the fuck's the point of the playoff? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yep. And Penix looked like shit.
Horrible.
Do you think a shitty performance affects his draft position, Rackets, or no?
100%.
So?
Yeah, 100%, dude.
I don't know.
All we heard all year this year was how Caleb Williams was like the best prospect since Andrew Luck, and Penix was great, whatever, all this shit. Now, Caleb Williams hasn't been talked about in the last like 2-3 weeks of anything. Like, just completely fell off the map because of how bad he was all season long. And now, fucking, they're like, oh well, Penix is going to be in the top 10 of the draft. He looked terrible too. Like,
I think the best thing is to not make it into the Final Four, right? And then don't play a ball game, and then you still look great, like the kid from LSU.
Yeah, because everybody's last impression in their head is the conference championship game or whatever the fuck the last game you played was, and then everyone's like, oh well, you got screwed because you weren't in the fucking playoff or whatever. And then they're talking about what you can do over the offseason in pre-draft rather than, oh, well, he just ruined his draft stock, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, and then they say, well, he's got the combine, he's got the – I mean, you're not playing
the Senior Bowl and all that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, bro, it's not the same. He looked very flawed to me in that game. Drops back way too far.
He was overthrowing everybody. You have the second best or the best wide receiver
There's
in
isn't there 3 receivers on that team that's probably going to go to the NFL?
Yeah.
There's at least 2 of them, right?
Yeah.
Rackets, they didn't take a shot down the field till like the end of the second quarter. Everything was dump offs, 5-10 yards. the kid Oduze, Oduze, whatever his name is.
Adunze, yeah,
Yeah,
Adunze
was
or whatever
supposed to be the best. Him and Harrison. He didn't get that big catch at the end of the game when the game was over. He had like 40 yards. Yep. The guy's had over 100 in every game. You can't have 40 yards from your best receiver, from the best receiver in college. That's ridiculous. They weren't taking any shots down the field. Way too many holding calls, and he was just overthrowing.
If you're overthrowing receivers and you can't hit receivers in college with like 2, 3, 4 yards of separation, what the fuck are you going to do in the NFL when you have 4 feet of separation?
Yeah.
Like
Zach Wilson
doesn't make it 100%, dude. It's not going to work. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to fucking work.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen.
You have NFL receivers that are getting 3 yards of separation against college kids that can't cover anybody, and you're still overthrowing them. What are you going to do in the NFL? I mean, easy. It's easy for me.
Howie, we're talking about the national championship.
Charger 125.
What would you say? We're talking about the national championship.
In football?
Yep.
I mean, bottom line is put an asterisk next to it because Georgia should have been in the Final Four. So,
yep, 100%. How did they fuck that? We talked about that when it happened. How the fuck? And Tommy kind of, he didn't defend it, but he's like, I kind of get where they're coming from. We said it when it happened. How do you leave the best team in the fucking country out of the playoff?
Till today, I was talking about it last night, and I have no answers. I have no idea. Like, you won it 2 years in a row. You lost one game. You're in. I mean, I don't know how they.
And everybody all season long, from fucking back in July when all the preseason stuff started, Georgia's the best team in the country. Georgia's the best team in the country. All season long, Georgia's the best team in the country. Now all of a sudden, playoff, you get picked, and then they're not all of a sudden not the best team in the country anymore.
It just, the shadiness that went into that whole playoff situation this year is as bad as I've ever seen it. The politics involved. I mean, say what you want, Florida State got fucked. I mean, they did. That's a different team. If they're in the Final Four, Florida State, not one of those kids opts out instead of 14 kids opting out. So
yeah, it gives them something to play for. Exactly.
With their quarterback going down, they got screwed. And I mean, what are you going to do? You know,
but Georgia significantly would have made. Put it this way: if Georgia gets in that playoff, they're a favorite in every game. I don't care if who they're playing. They're playing Michigan. They're probably a 6.5 point favorite.
Yeah, I agree. And they had played one bad game in two or three.
It's in 2.5 years.
That's ridiculous. You shouldn't be penalized because of that one bad game to not make it there.
No,
like you said, if any other sport, you're undefeated the whole season and then you lose one game, it doesn't mean you're out of it. You don't make the playoffs. Like, that's crazy. So it was ridiculous. And we're saying, I think Penix looked like shit in that game. He played like shit, looked like shit, overthrowing everybody. There was a lot of bad calls.
He overthrew his receivers, but I will say this: 5 or 6 times he hit receivers right in the numbers. They didn't catch it, and I don't think they called a defensive hold the whole fucking game. Those D-backs from Michigan were just raping dudes.
Yeah. Yep. So, every time it was like offensive holding. And then there were so many missed calls that you saw. And then that one time on that punt, Michigan had 12 men on the field. So they didn't call that. How do you not call that? Even the announcer said they have 2 guys back. Well, if they have 2 guys back, something's wrong.
Yeah.
There's one too many on the field.
I know. Yeah, it was I don't know. It was it just was not a great national championship game. I mean, I don't know. It was weird. It was a weird game.
Yeah.
Just the refs, the calls, everything was just really bizarre.
It was just, and then Michigan just running all over them, like just right out the gate. Boom, touchdown, 60 yards. Another one, 60 yards, just running all over them in the beginning. And then it seemed like once Michigan was up and those 2 big runs happened, the game was over. They just couldn't score. They couldn't get a touchdown. They couldn't score. They got the ball back at halftime, and then they just couldn't do anything with it. You know, that was it. Penix just looked like shit.
Yeah,
And
and he was hurt. He got beaten up.
yeah, they looked like they didn't belong there.
Yeah, he was definitely hurting. He took a couple shots, and you could tell he was sore, especially towards the end, man. He was a tough time getting up.
Yep, coming from saying that they have the best offensive line in the country. I mean, they were getting just pushed around and
Yeah.
everything. So they didn't look the best. And when Penix was getting, we actually saw him under pressure for the first time basically all year. Guy drops back way too far. Where you going? He's back there 15 yards back by the line of scrimmage.
Bill said, "Where you going?"
Yeah, like, what are you doing back there, dude?
Yeah. It was brutal. It was brutal all around. But like I say, man, when the whole thing was done, I was like, they got to put an asterisk by Michigan because this was ridiculous. That Georgia wasn't in the Final Four. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was. So
I mean, you put Georgia in that Final Four, you got basically 9 first-round draft picks, and everybody's playing. Brock Bowers is playing, McConkey's playing, everybody's playing the whole game. Michigan would have got stomped, in my opinion.
Or
Yep.
at least it would have been a better game than what we saw.
Yeah. That was
I
brutal.
mean, I feel like this has happened like the last as long as I can remember. Like every fucking year, the national championship game sucks. Like I honestly can't remember the last time there was a good national championship game.
Man, sure as hell wasn't last year. It
wasn't the Clemson year. Clemson got fucking murdered with LSU. Like I honestly I can't remember the last good national championship game that there was. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
And the fact that Howie can't think of one off the top of his head tells me that I'm pretty much right.
No, because I mean, Joe Burrow at LSU, they stomped.
They stomped the fuck out of Clemson.
That was an ass beating.
These games are fucking trash every single year.
The last good one, 4 or 5 years ago, when Alabama came back with Tua, when Hurts went out of the game, Tua came in and he threw that 45-yard bomb to beat Georgia. That was a good game.
Yeah, and what was that? 2018, 19?
Yeah, 5 years ago. Yeah, 5, 6 years. Yeah,
so you haven't even had a fucking good championship game in 5 years.
No, we haven't. No, not even close.
So next year is the year when they changed it, right? How they go from 14?
12. Yeah, next year's going to be great. I mean, there's no excuses next year. Next year, you're going to have, what the hell? You'll have teams like BYU in it, Boise State. Who knows? But it'll be great. Next year will be great.
Yeah.
Hey, so we get into college basketball. I gotta read you guys something, and you gotta just tell me what's wrong here. You guys have heard of StatSalt, right? StatSalt's like one of the, handicapping sites you can go on. You listen to these expert handicappers. I read this thing the other night. This is Georgetown was playing. It was 2 nights ago. And basically, here's how it starts out. This guy wrote this up, and he says, the Georgetown men's basketball team has had a successful season so far, thanks in part to exceptional performances of its top players. So I read that right off the bat, and I said, okay, this has got to be a joke, because there's 11 teams in the Big East. Georgetown's in second to last place. They're 1-4. They're 1-4 in the league. They're one of the worst teams in the country. So right off the bat, this guy's like, the reason they've been successful is because of this. They're exceptional players. Then he writes down this. Just listen to this. He wrote, on the defensive end, opponents have scored an average of 72 points per game against the Hoyas. The Hoyas have managed to limit their opponents to a 50.1% shooting percentage. Their defense is highlighted by their average of 3.9 blocks and 6.1 steals per game. This dude wrote that the reason that the Georgia Hoyas is so successful is because their defense is limiting other teams
to 50%.
50% shooting.
50%.
Dude, if you're playing under a coach and the coach says before the game, hey, guys, listen, if we can just hold this team to 50%, we got a good chance of losing by probably no more than 30.
I mean, that's insane. 50%.
I sent this to Tommy, and he was crying, laughing.
There's teams wish they shot 50%.
Dude, If I'm a coach, and I used to be, I would tell my teams, guys, if we shoot 44% or higher, we're not going to lose too many games.
I mean, if you go out there, make every half of what you shoot, you're going to win. I mean,
If you shoot 50% of the time, you're going to win 9 out of 10 games. Nobody's going to beat you if you're shooting 50%. This dude comes out. This is the
and that's got to be like 60% from inside, 40% from three. I mean, 40% from three is like fucking great if I were a team.
40% from three is Steph Curry.
Yeah.
You get a fucking rebound and you're guaranteed to score every possession.
Dude, this dude, Lily, I'm reading this word for word. He said, he goes, despite this, the Hoyas have managed to limit their opponents to a 50.1% shooting percentage, and this defense is highlighted by their average of 3.9 blocks and 6.1 steals per game. And I read that, and I'm like, this isn't even a joke. This dude's being serious. Like, I could not believe that shit. Like, this, dude, you're in the wrong area of work. It's like, how...
You think he was being like, do you think he was joking?
No.
Was it written as a joke?
No, he was writing this dead serious because
Wow.
He said they're having a successful season. No, this was I'm reading it right off of the
what is their record? What are they this year?
They're 1-3 in the conference. 1-4. They're 1-4 in the conference. They're 8-8 overall. They've beaten like 3 Division III teams, 2 Division II teams. They're horrible. I mean, I've watched them this year, and they're extremely bad. But I just could not believe that they were playing Seton Hall the other night. They were playing Seton Hall. And that's the game that I said during the live bet. They shot, I think, 28% at the half, and Seton Hall was at like 65%, and they were down 13 or 11. I said, yeah, take them second half. They lost by 4 or 5. They covered. But the fact this dude said that about 50% defense, if you can hold a team to 50%, man, you are solid.
Well, yeah, so Seton Hall shot 60% from the field, and they shot 46% from three in that game.
This guy would say...
great defensive effort, Bill.
Yeah, great effort, guys.
This guy would say that's just putting it all out there, fellas. That's a way to get in their face.
Wow. So what do you got tonight, Howie, so football's over, so
yeah,
pack it up till next year. What do you got on basketball?
Three big plays. I mean, early on, if you want to take UMass Lowell and you want to tease them with Vermont, they're both home. They're both great at home. I would tease them both. You got a shot at hitting that. But then later in the slate, you got 3 games. You got Michigan going into Maryland. I think Maryland's -6, -6.5. I love Maryland, number one, not just because they're home, but because the starting point guard for Michigan, this dude, Doug McDaniel, I've never heard of this in my life. He's got a 6-game suspension. Only on the road. He can't suit up on the road. I don't know what the hell that is. I've never heard of it. But that's a suspension he's got. He can't suit up for away games, only home.
That's so strange.
It's bizarre. It's bizarre, but he's out tonight. He's not suiting up.
What is he on, like parole, and he can't leave the fucking leave the state?
He's got an ankle bracelet on, I guess. I mean, and that's what it is. But they play at Maryland. Maryland's got one of the best guards in the country. I think he exposes them, and I think they roll at home tonight. The second game, you got Michigan State, who just got thumped by Northwestern on the road. Michigan State can't play on the road. They're not that good. They're playing an Illinois team. So speaking of ankle bracelets, they lost that great guard who was averaging 23 a game, December 28th, for that rape charge. I don't know if he penetrated or not, but he's definitely got the charge against him.
The little rape.
Yeah, he's got that little rape charge against him. So yeah. he's indefinitely out. They play at Illinois tonight, they're playing better without this kid. I mean, they thumped Northwestern. They're playing Michigan State at home. They're laying 2.5. The reason the line's that low is because people are like, can they continue playing well without this kid? I think they can. I think they win this game. I like Illinois at home. In the final game tonight, this is one you'll love, Bill. You got Gonzaga going into Santa Clara. The line opened at Santa Clara +10. It's now down to +7.5. This game has money line written all over it. You can get Santa Clara right now at +285. Playing at home tonight, small gym, huge rivalry. That place will be packed.
Gonzaga hasn't been great, right? This year
No.
they're down to like barely in the top 25, right?
They're 23, but they've lost a couple games this year. Somebody beat them, not Penn State. Somebody beat them not that good earlier. They can be had, and I think tonight the stars are aligned, and Santa Clara could knock them off. But as far as getting a value at +85, that's pretty solid.
310 on
Nice.
DraftKings.
What is that, Evan?
310.
310. 310. So you got to sprinkle that, man, because I think they have a legit shot. They have a good backcourt. Gonzaga is not the powerhouse they've been in the past. And like I say, this line's opened at +10. Now it's down to +7.5. You know, a lot of money going on that. So I like them at home.
All right, great. All right, Howie, I guess we will see you tomorrow. Tommy will be back on tomorrow. He had to go to the doctor. And that's it. Great job.
All right, guys, let's bang.
Later, bud. All right, Ev, we're moving to the NBA.
Yep.
Rackets, tonight, I'm going to bet aside.
No,
Betting aside in the NBA.
you're not doing it. I don't believe you.
Hardly do it.
I don't believe you.
The last time I've said it on the show about sides, I've won the last two. So I'm betting it tonight. I'm taking the Milwaukee Bucks -138 if everybody's playing. So he's all contingent on lineups, you know, Lillard and everybody and Giannis. They all have to be there. The Celtics are bad on the road. They're not good. Celtics are 18-0 at home. 18-0. Rackets. They haven't lost yet all year. 18-0, which is crazy. They're not good on the road. They're like almost 11-8 or some shit. Yeah, I think 8. They have 8 losses. Yeah. Not great on the road. I'm going Milwaukee tonight. I think Milwaukee gets it done at home. I like that line. It's taking Milwaukee, Rackets. So I'm betting aside. Going with that. What does the bot have anything on that one?
But the bot likes the Milwaukee Bucks as well. 59%.
All right, let's go. I'm on it. I love it. Let's go. Bucks tonight. I'll also give you a first basket. I'm going to take Jalen Brunson in the Knicks game, +480. So Brunson first basket in the Knicks.
If he makes the All-Star game, he should be on Stay Cashin or Rupp and Rackets or something. He owes a lot of it to 4D.
Yeah, Hoffman's been pushing for that. We've got him a lot of votes. Giannis and LeBron are running away with that. Like, they changed the format of the All-Star game again. So it used to be like they would pick.
Yeah, it used to be like the fantasy draft stuff.
Yeah, but now it's back to East versus West.
East West. I kind of liked when they did. It was hockey that used to do the North America versus the world. I used to like.
Well, that's what the NBA should do. They should do U.S. versus the world. They should have an All-Star game. So Jokic and all them guys.
Hockey was awesome when they did that stuff.
Yeah, that's what they should do. The NBA said they were talking about stuff like that. But they should go ahead and do it. I just want to look at something real fast. So I was talking to Tommy last night, and the where is it? Pistons lost again, Rackets. They got killed. So it's coming up on that date that it would have been the 15th for their win.
Yep.
But they got that win against Toronto when Uncle Danny came in and said they were going to win because
the Uncle Danny specialty.
Yeah, because Toronto had the trade, and that trade they lost, two starters, and then the Knicks couldn't send their guys over. So that day when they make the trade, obviously you're out players, and they had to go with a small bench, and they only had and they're missing 2 starters out of their lineup. So that was the perfect storm. We got screwed on that because now Detroit has only won that game, and they only play one more time. So we could have been hedging this whole time. They play Houston, I think, and then is the game that Tommy picked. So we got screwed on the Toronto thing, and it would have been probably the 15th. So guys, bet that anyway because pick them to win that day against Washington, just so that you at least if they lose, if not, we get a little money out of it because you don't want that prediction to go for naught.
Yeah, exactly.
So bet them on them. That just sucks that trade happened. Great for the Knicks. They haven't lost a game.
Would have been sitting pretty with that January 15th or 16th, whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah, I mean, could have started hedging as of yesterday. Would have been great because only one more game left now. The Knicks haven't lost since that trade, so it's working out for them. They're still a player away, I believe. But yeah, tonight Milwaukee minus 138 and Jalen Brunson first basket. I'm on both of those. What else? What else do we have?
We have the NHL, but I'm sure you guys don't really have any leans unless Rackets.
Yeah, I've got nothing on that. I don't bet hockey until the playoffs. I bet it in the beginning before NBA starts. And then I come back in the playoffs. Rackets, do you have anything? Does bot like anything in that?
Yeah, I can give you guys some NHL. Give me a second though to sift through all this bullshit.
Yeah, like I said, I don't do it until the playoffs. And then like I said before the NBA, I dabble in it.
Somebody was asking me yesterday. They're like, "What happened to the hockey guy?" I'm like, "He got kidnapped right around Thanksgiving. Nobody's seen or heard from him since."
Yeah, he had some family stuff going on, and then we spoke to him, and then he was doing something else. He had some other family stuff, so it was like, man, just leave it alone now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like I said, I don't get it's too much, bro. Like following NBA and then football and everything else. I mean, how many freaking sports can you follow and know everything about? You can't. It's impossible to do all of them.
Okay. I have the Edmonton Oilers tonight against the Detroit Red Wings. Oilers to win, minus 165. And also, if you want to parlay that with the New York Rangers to win, minus 165 against the Blues. I see both of those at 60+%.
Nice. Let's go. Any tennis rackets that you like early?
It doesn't start. It's not on early tonight. It doesn't start till like 10 o'clock. So we're talking really early. Let me take a look here real quick. There's only 4 matches, so not really a whole lot. But I'll give you guys. Do I really want? I'm just gonna give that to the subs. All right, no, I'm not gonna give you any tennis. There's only like 1 or 2 plays I like. I'm gonna give them the subs.
All right. I saw a commercial again. Rackets. Gronk is kicking the field goal again.
Again?
Yeah. So you go on FanDuel and pick whether you think he makes it or misses it. There was controversy last year. I thought it went in, and he missed it. So I mean, that was pretty ridiculous. So they're doing it again.
It looked like it went in too. Remember?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Fucking, we were all watching it like that went in. That went in. Oh wait, no, it didn't.
You could go on there and think if you're gonna make it or miss it, and get your part of $10 million, which will be probably about 25 cents a person.
I will give you one tennis play. I don't love this one, but I'm probably going to bet it just because Ostapenko hasn't looked great in the last 2 days. She's got a little bit of a leg injury. Ekaterina Alexandrova plus 110.
All right.
Bless you. I'll put it in the thing for you,
please.
All right, guys. That about wraps it up. Probably no Rupp and Rackets today at 5:30 because we just did Rupp and Rackets
on a video show.
What are we gonna just sit there and talk to each other again for another half hour, 3 hours from now? I mean,
I don't know. Oh, shout out Silent Padrino. He sent me another care package yesterday. This shirt is fucking awesome. It says legal drug dealer and it's got his logo and stuff on the back. This shirt is fucking awesome. His gummies are. I don't know if you've opened the gummies yet, Bill. The gummies are phenomenal, dude.
He sent it to me like 2 months ago, and it was like right with my mom, and everything happened.
Yeah.
I put the package in the dining room with all these boxes, and then when you said it, I'm like, holy shit, I forgot all about it. And then I still haven't. He sent me a whole bunch of shit to hand out to like Tommy and Trevor.
Yeah, dude. The gummies are legit, man. He sent some sleep gummies, just some other CBD gummies and some other shit too. But
yeah, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna do it definitely this week. And I know there's some shirts in there and shit.
Yeah, like my tolerance is high from fucking everything, like all the time. So like gummies usually don't do a whole lot for me. These ones fuck me up. I like them.
So I should take like a quarter.
You should have a whole one, Bill. You'll be fine.
No, I almost died. Tommy with stupid chocolate tried to kill me.
I was gonna eat the Nerds rope today. He sent this. I'll wait for Tommy though. It's a 15. I don't know if you guys can see this. It's a. Can you see that?
No.
Nah,
it's a 1,500 milligram fucking Nerds rope.
Jesus
I'm gonna crush this
Christ.
thing. Yeah, this thing's gonna be fucking awesome. I'm probably gonna eat this tomorrow. I was gonna do it today, but I wanted Tommy to be here, so I'll wait till tomorrow. It's a strawberry Nerds rope. This thing's gonna be fucking awesome.
All right. I don't know if I'm gonna be here tomorrow. I think so. I have a doctor's appointment early, 8 a.m. I'm getting my yearly physical. Gotta check.
Oh, you're getting your physical, Bill?
Check me all out. Check the butt. Check my balls. Check everything else.
Spread your cheeks and lift your sack.
You know it. So I'll be doing that all
Mr.
day.
Chappelle, why didn't you spread your cheeks earlier?
They said it's like a few hours, but I should be done because it's at 8 a.m. So I should be back by that time. So if I'm not,
Bill's going to get groped tomorrow if he's not back in time.
Yeah,
that's what he's doing.
Violated tomorrow. So we will see. Evan, hold on. Rackets, final words.
Tennis season, dude. Tennis season's going fucking great so far. Live bets have been great. My live percentage is way better than the pregame percentage. We hit some pregame bets last night. I think I went 4-1 in the pregames last night, and we hit some live bets at like 2-3 in the morning. Hang out in the fucking chat if you guys are up working overnights, whatever. Hang out in the chat. I'm literally up every night doing this shit. At least through the Australian Open.
Nice, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and share it. Just do that, and that's all. We'll be happy. Evan, what do you think about the Gronk field goal?
Rigged.
All right, guys, we will be back tomorrow at 2. If something changes, if there's some breaking news before 5:30, then me and Rackets will come on. If not, no Rupp and Rackets today. Just watch the show again, and that'll be Rupp and Rackets.
Yeah,
so,
just pretend we did this now.
Yeah, most likely we'll see you tomorrow at 2 o'clock. For Howie, Rackets, Evan, and myself, and Tommy, who's getting his hip looked at. Stay cashy, guys. Let's go!